Time Warner Cable is pleased to be an underwriting sponsor for Carolina Week.
Coming up on the October 1st edition of Carolina Week, an apartment fire kills one woman and leaves some students homeless. We'll have the latest.
I'm Catherine Cannon, and I'll tell you how watering your plants on the wrong day of the week could get you in trouble.
In sports, the softball team is testing the waters with a bunch of new players.
Weathercaster Laura Bagano will have your Carolina Week 4-day forecast.
All that and a jammin' good time. Carolina Week starts right now.
From the James F. Goodman Studio in the School of Journalism and Mass Communication at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, connecting campus and community, this is Carolina Week.
Hello and welcome to the Monday edition of Carolina Week. I'm Carla Babb.
And I'm Adam Rue. Thank you for joining us. 6 people are injured after a shooting at Visions nightclub in Chapel Hill early this morning. An exclusive Sunday birthday bash turned into what police officials say might have been gang violence. Police wrapped up the crime scene at 4 a.m. and investigators are pursuing every possible lead to identify the shooter. If you have any information about the shooting, call Crime Stoppers at 942-7515. Calls to Crime Stoppers are anonymous and you could be eligible for a cash reward.
Nearly 24 students are homeless after a fire in Carborough, but at least they're alive. Nick Kane joins us from the newsroom, and Nick, a bunch of people are pretty lucky, aren't they?
Yes, they are, Carla. Sunday afternoon, I came home to my apartment, and when I arrived, I was just happy to see that I still had a home. Several students don't anymore.
Imagine that within minutes, everything you own is gone. That's the reality for 20 residents of Highland Hills Apartments in Carborough. At about 2 a.m. Sunday morning, the entire G building burned to the ground. All that remains are a few walls. Nothing inside is recognizable. A resident of the F building across the parking lot, Zach Strange, was awake when the fire started and saw it spread very rapidly.
It was pretty much just like 1/3 of the building when we first noticed it, and then within 5 to 8 minutes, the whole building was on fire. The whole thing. It just ripped through the whole building. It moved through like a matchbook.
One person didn't make it out. Kristen Petrovich and Susan Thorne suffered broken bones after jumping from their second-story apartment to escape the fire. They're in fair condition at UNC Hospital. Resident Scott Moans was walking his dog when he saw the orange glow of the fire in the distance. He rushed over to see what he could do.
So I ran to the end that wasn't on fire and started banging on doors and yelling, the building's on fire, get out of the building. And as I was coming back down, I banged on the first floor again, and 3 people came out of the apartment with a dog at that point that hadn't been told.
The heat melted car bodies and broke windows. An excavator will be on site for the next few days to demolish what's left of the building and remove the rubble.
The fire department's been at the site ever since it happened. We're still unsure about what caused the fire.
So what's going to happen to the people who've been displaced?
The American Red Cross is offering food and temporary shelter for those who've been displaced, but many of the students who I spoke to did not have renter's insurance and have been left with nothing.
Nick, thanks. Nick Kane reporting live in the newsroom.
The search for a new chancellor is already in high gear. The Board of Trustees has chosen a search committee led by Nelson Schwab to find a new chancellor. 7 years ago, James Measer had the vision of making UNC the country's leading public university. During his years in office, he's overseen major construction projects. He's also helped get low-income students in the classroom with the Carolina Covenant program and made a UNC a major research hub. Starting October 12th, the search committee meets with UNC System President Erskine Bowles to share ideas about which qualities the next chancellor should have. On October 16th, the committee will have its second meeting. Then, at the end of the month, viewers like you can have your say at 2 community forums. Chancellor Measer hopes to find his replacement in the next 9 months.
A recent study shows there are enough parking spaces in the country for each American family to have 11. That's not the case in Chapel Hill. Downtown Chapel Hill has approximately 3,100 parking spots, but only 1,000 of them are available for public parking. Out-of-town visitors often don't know where to park to find transportation for football games or downtown shopping. The Chapel Hill Downtown Partnership is proposing a study about the town's parking problems. The study will cost between $15,000 and $30,000 and will examine how many people pay for parking spaces, the effect of parking on downtown businesses, and the management of parking areas.
The rain is slowly coming, but the drought won't seem to go away. Reporter Catherine Cannon is in Carrboro with an update on its effects on the community. Catherine, I assume the water levels must be pretty low by now.
Adam, I'm out here at University Lake where you can really see the effects of the drought. There's something missing at Orange County lakes. Water, and lots of it. Water levels at both University Lake and Cane Creek Reservoir are way below normal. That didn't stop some people from enjoying an afternoon on the lake. John Baker says the low water levels didn't totally ruin his fishing plans.
The places that we used to go, we can't go now, but it's not as bad as you think it would be. But we could stand, a month or two of rain.
Before the Orange Water and Sewer Authority, the current situation was serious enough to declare a Stage 1 water shortage Thursday night. This means new water restrictions for residents to prevent the lakes from drying up even more.
The number of days per week when spray irrigation can be done is reduced from 3 to 1. For even addresses, the watering days for spray irrigation are Tuesdays, and for odd addresses, those are Thursdays.
People struggling to keep their plants and yards alive will have an even bigger fight with the new water restrictions. But Chapel Hill plant lover Lisa Dankner has a solution.
We learned about drip system coming from Southern California where there's a lot of drought, and the drip system just delivers a small amount of water to each plant, so it conserves water but allows you to keep the plants alive during drought.
Drip irrigation systems aren't restricted in a Stage 1 drought, but residents who don't follow the new water restrictions could face penalties.
We could ask the police department to get involved in this sort of thing if there's a need to do that.
A dramatic change in the weather is what we need to replenish the community's main water supply lakes. But until then, officials say limiting our water use is the only solution.
As you can see, this drought is a serious problem that won't be corrected with just a few showers.
So, Catherine, just how far below normal is University Lake?
Well, Adam, you can see the line here on the dock where the water normally comes up to. I'm standing on dry land, so the water should be up above my waist.
All right, Catherine Cannon at University Lake, thank you.
Health and overall fitness are very important to students at Carolina. UNC Student Recreation Center held a free body fat analysis workshop Friday afternoon. Students could take a break from their regular workouts to get a personalized analysis of their own percentage of body fat. Students learned the best way to maintain a healthy weight is through regular exercise and strength conditioning with weights.
Sometimes pride means being comfortable with who you are. Friday night marked the beginning of the North Carolina Pride Weekend. Members of the LGBT community enjoyed events until Sunday evening. Rainbow-colored flags were flying on Saturday as downtown Durham hosted the North Carolina Pride Day Festival. The festival was Saturday afternoon on Duke University's East Campus. Tents were set up for vendors, and thousands of participants showed up to take part in the event. But for some, Pride isn't just about the festival and the colorful decorations.
My favorite part was being around people like me, I guess. I'd have to say. Just feeling normal, I'd have to say.
Feeling accepted.
Yeah.
Part of the crowd.
For more information about North Carolina Pride, visit our website at www.carolinaweek.org.
Well, you didn't have to go to Pride Weekend to see people celebrating in the street.
Coming up, we'll tell you why racing fans are having fun in Hillsboro.